Good morning, everyone. We're standing at a pivotal moment in social media and entrepreneurship. The world is noisier than ever, attention is harder to capture, and trust is the new currency. The question is, what's next? How do we navigate the future in a way that builds not just brands, but lasting impact? First, let's talk about authenticity. The days of overly polished, fake perfection are over. People crave connection, not just content. If you're building a brand or a business, the best strategy isn't selling, it's storytelling. Not the kind that's scripted, but the kind that's real. The kind that makes people say, me too. Second, community will outrank content. The next wave of social media isn't about who can go viral, it's about who can build the deepest relationships. Entrepreneurs who truly listen, engage, and serve their audience will win. The algorithm rewards attention, but people reward trust. And third, you have to create more than you consume. The entrepreneurs who thrive in this next era will be the ones who stop overthinking and start doing. Start the podcast, post the video, launch the idea. The biggest risk isn't failing, it's never starting. So what's next in social media and entrepreneurship? It's simple. Be real, build trust, take action, because the future doesn't belong to those who wait, it belongs to those who show up. Vulnerability is the ultimate growth hack. In a world where filters, perfectly curated feeds, and highlight reels dominate our screens, vulnerability has become the most underrated and powerful tool in business and social media. We've been conditioned to believe that success means having it all together, always knowing the answer, always winning. But here's the truth: people don't connect with perfection. Connect with realness. Look at the most successful brands and entrepreneurs today. They aren't just selling products or services, they're telling stories. They're showing the messy middle, the behind the scenes struggles, the things that make them human, and that's what makes people trust them. Think about it. When was the last time you bought something because the company had the best features? Maybe once or twice. But most of the time, we choose brands, creators, and businesses because they make us feel something, because they remind us of ourselves. Vulnerability is the bridge between you and your audience. But let's be real. Vulnerability isn't easy. It's uncomfortable. It requires courage. It means showing up when you don't have all the answers, when you feel like an imposter, when you're afraid of being judged. But that's exactly why it works. Because the moment you step into that discomfort and own your truth, you give others permission to do the same. The best entrepreneurs understand that trust is built in the small, honest moments, the ones where you admit your mistakes, share your lessons, and show people that success isn't about never falling. It's about always getting back up. So the next time you're thinking about what to post, what story to tell, or how to connect with your audience, remember this: people don't want perfect, they want real. And the most powerful thing you can do for your brand, your business, and your life is to stop trying to be impressive and start being impactful. Vulnerability isn't weakness, it's the ultimate growth hack. The future belongs to those who listen. For years, social media has been driven by one thing: who can be the loudest, the brands that post the most, the influencers who talk the most, the businesses that push the hardest. But we're seeing a shift. The future isn't about who can shout the loudest, it's about who can listen the best. Attention has always been the most valuable currency in marketing, but attention is shifting. People don't just want to be sold to, they don't want to be talked at, they want to be heard. The brands, creators, and entrepreneurs who understand this will be the ones who win. Listening isn't just about hearing words, it's about understanding the emotions behind them. It's about paying attention to what people actually need instead of assuming you know best. It's about recognizing patterns in conversations, seeing what frustrates people, what excites them, what makes them feel valued. Social media is no longer a one-way street, it's a conversation. Look at the biggest shifts in the digital space. Community-driven platforms are thriving. People are gathering in private groups, in Discord servers, in niche communities where they feel seen. They don't want to be just another follower on a massive page. They want to be part of something where their voice matters. This is why brands that prioritize engagement over just content output are growing faster than ever. It's no longer enough to post and hope for the best. The best entrepreneurs are the ones responding to comments, replying to DMs, actively participating in discussions. They're not just building audiences, they're building relationships. Listening also means adapting. The best businesses don't just create based on what they think will work. They create based on feedback. They test, they iterate, they ask questions. They don't assume they know what their customers want. They go out and find out. The best content creators don't just post blindly. They watch what resonates. They see which posts spark conversations, which ones make people feel something, which ones bring people back for more. And here's the hard part. Listening requires patience. It means resisting the urge to constantly talk, to constantly push, to constantly sell. It means understanding that long-term success isn't built on a series of viral moments, but on consistent trust over time. It means valuing depth over reach, knowing that having 1,000 engaged, loyal followers is more powerful than 100,000 people who scroll past without caring. Social media has made it easier than ever to broadcast a message, but the real power lies in using it to listen. The brands and entrepreneurs who build their future on listening won't just succeed, they'll lead. Stop playing small, create. Don't just consume. In a world where we're constantly bombarded with information, it's easy to fall into the trap of consumption. We scroll through social media, watch countless videos, read articles, listen to podcasts, and we forget that all of this input is meant to inspire us, not to paralyze us. It's so tempting to get caught up in the consumption cycle, to always be absorbing new ideas, trends, and strategies without ever taking action. Never move the needle for you. The entrepreneurs who stand out are the ones who create, not just the ones who consume. Yes, it's important to learn and stay informed, but the real game changer is what you do with that information. The best ideas, the most innovative solutions, and the most successful businesses are built by people who took that knowledge, those insights, and put them into action. They didn't sit back and wait for the perfect moment or for everything to be perfectly aligned. They got their hands dirty. They created, they built. When we consume endlessly, we begin to believe that everything has already been done, that the space is too crowded, or that someone else has already said what we wanted to say. But here's the reality. Nobody can tell your story like you can. No one else has your perspective, your experiences, or your unique way of seeing the world. The longer you sit on the sidelines consuming content instead of creating your own, the longer you delay what you could bring to the table. It's time to stop playing small. Stop letting fear or doubt hold you back from putting yourself out there. Stop waiting for the right time to launch your idea, post your content, or start your business. The future doesn't belong to those who stay in the shadows, who endlessly compare themselves to others, or who wait for perfection. It belongs to those who create, regardless of how messy it might look in the beginning. This is especially important in the age of social media, where everyone is a content creator in their own right. The idea of waiting for the right moment can be paralyzing. But the truth is, the best entrepreneurs don't wait, they act. They experiment, they fail, and they learn from those failures. Every piece of content you create, every product you launch, every post you share is one step closer to finding what truly resonates with your audience. The reality is the people who are doing big things in this world are not the ones with the biggest audiences or the perfect Instagram feeds. They're the ones who show up day after day, pushing boundaries, sharing their voice, and doing the work. They know that creating is the only way to move forward, so they do it, no matter how imperfect it might seem. If you're spending all your time consuming, you're missing the chance to create something that only you can create. The world is waiting for your voice, your perspective, your ideas. It's time to stop playing small, to stop hiding behind other people's content, and to start building something that's uniquely yours.